Welcome to the show. My name is Charlton with Big C. This is Charlton and Big C Sports coming to you worldwide on the Big C Sports Network, the number one network in the United States of America. And Big C Sports has been voted the number one sports show in the universe, according to Big C and them good old boys down south. I want to say bienvenidos to all of our listeners across the pond in London, England, as well as Latin America. And of course, you good old boys from Canada, as well as we love you in Africa called the Big C Tribe. I think they've been beating us to the Big C Sports Show. Also, there's no one we love more than you good old boys down south in the land of the free and the home of the brave. Big C, how's it going for all you good old boys down south?
Well, Charlton, it was like eating Chinese food over the weekend. We had a sweet and sour weekend down here in the south.
Yeah.
The dogs fell and the tide rolled, so, it was sweet and sour.
Sweet and sour. No, you just kind of scared me a little bit. You said you had sweet and sour dog and you had sweet and sour Chinese. I just want to make sure. I know you good old boys get down your own way. Big C, I do want to say today's a beautiful. It is November the 13th, 2017 in the land of the free, in the home of the brave. And also, I want to say so much praise has gone out for our veterans. On Veterans Day weekend, you saw all the sports leagues celebrating the veterans and showing the whole world that this anthem protest was never about the military. It's just about criminal justice reform. And ironically, the California governor, Jerry Brown, they have some bills right now in front of the California Senate for criminal justice reform, and it's all due to the help of Colin Kaepernick bringing it to the light. So you good old boys, go back and start reading the same way Colin Kaepernick read. Big C, your thoughts on what you saw this great Veterans Day weekend with football all over the place, Big C?
Well, Charlton, it's always been honoring the veterans by the professional leagues. It has never been the stance that some of the media and politicians wanted to take up, that this was disrespectful to the flag and to the military.
Yeah.
Well, everybody has been disrespectful to minorities, Charlton, in America. When you realistically look at it, what level of equality have African Americans ever received in this society? Yes, it's been elevated over the past decade, past century. But Charlton, there's never been equality in America. So for people to say that African Americans have taken a stance against the flag and against the military, those things have oppressed African Americans throughout America's history.
Oh, yeah.
But Charlton, when you look at what Colin Kaepernick did, okay?
Yep.
He opened up the eyes to some sore wounds for people of other cultures.
Yep.
That did not want to address it to the world. And you think about what GQ magazine did this past week.
Oh, yeah.
By voting Colin Kaepernick the Citizen of the Year in the United States. You think about that. Not person, the citizen.
Wow.
That means equality, that he crosses all barriers.
Yeah.
Charlton, what Colin Kaepernick has done, and he'll go down in history with the likes of Muhammad Ali, men of that stature.
Yeah.
Dr. King.
Yep.
Who has talked about social justice for all, not just one. Let me tell you something that's very resonating about what Colin Kaepernick has done, Charlton.
Yeah.
And people have not drawn a correlation to it yet. Is that you look at all these incidents with these women coming out with this
isn't that true?
And sexual harassment.
Wow.
That is because of the boldness of Colin Kaepernick.
I agree.
And he has said you have to stand for justice, not anti-justice, but for justice.
Yep.
And so all of these women have been emboldened by Colin Kaepernick, an athlete actually in American society, to come out and say, we will no longer take being oppressed by being sexually misused, mistreated in society. That's social justice reform, Charlton.
Yep.
You think about it. That's justice reform in America. What Colin Kaepernick has done is resonated throughout society. It has polarized these women and empowered them, Charlton.
Yep.
That we will not take this crap from these powerful men any longer. And that's what Colin Kaepernick did, is that we socially should not have to take this crap from these powerful men.
Yep.
And so these women have taken Colin Kaepernick's message. So when people say it's against the flag, so you would have to say that all these women that are speaking about social injustice, that these men have been sexually offending and accosting and molesting them over time, Charlton.
Yep.
Are they against the flag and the military?
And that's a very good point. That's a very good point, Big C. I do want to say that today's segment is sponsored by your Northern California Cadillac dealers, home of the all-new Cadillac Escalade, the standard of the world. And when you go by and test drive yours, tell them Big C sent you. And one more thing I want to bring up about Colin Kaepernick and the fact that a lot of the women now who've been oppressed for a long time, and they were just simply afraid to come out and say anything. For the most part, these women happen to be Caucasian, okay? They're the ones coming out. I'm not saying they're the only group that has been marginalized and maligned, but they're the ones right now that are being given the voice for coming up. There's people of all culture that can come out and say what happened to them. And, it should only matter if you have decency in you, especially if you have a mother, a wife, or a daughter. I just can't visualize the man that says that he's going to tell his daughter to go off and educate yourself and get a good job. And oh, by the way, you may have to sleep with your boss to keep your job. Who in the heck would approve of that? And unfortunately, our same president of the United States will not come out and support this whole push for women to end the silence over domestic abuse and sexual assault. Big C, can we expect that from POTUS, or will he show his tax returns first? Big C, your thoughts?
Well, Charlton, he will praise Putin before he does anything.
He's already done that.
Think about this. This should be in the forefront from the White House when we talk about social, political, and reform. Charlton.
Yeah.
Here are all of these women. The president, when you talk about justice reform, reform, all he wants to do is call people SOBs, instead of anti-flag and anti-military.
Yeah.
Now, he was anti-flag and anti-military back in the 60s, okay, Charlton?
Yeah.
Because he refused to serve in the civil service. Not that he would have had to go to Vietnam, but he refused to serve in the Army.
Yeah.
6 times he got deferment. Then he had shin splints. He has no problem playing golf.
No.
Okay? Think about it. He played golf ever since then, and he's still playing golf.
Yeah.
But he had shin splints that would not allow him to march or walk in the military.
Yeah.
He walks the golf course,
yeah,
and he's been walking them ever since he's on them and even before that.
Yeah.
So this is a president that will lie about anything. But, as I think about how Colin Kaepernick, Charlton, has empowered the women of America.
Yeah.
To say we need justice reform in every industry in America.
Yeah.
That white men should not be allowed to do what they've done to us.
Yep.
Over all this time and get away with it. To use the statute of power.
Yeah.
And in this power is that we have no voice. For us to be able to eat, for us to be able to feed our families, to keep a roof over our head.
Yeah.
That we have to be abused by these powerful white men in America.
And
around the world.
Yeah.
And I am so glad that this has occurred, Charlton, and it's all occurred because Colin Kaepernick has opened the minds to these women to be empowered about social and justice reform, Charlton.
And I think you're right. And there's always some type of a cost to pay. Leadership is not for the weak. Leadership is not for the faint of heart. And I think about the statement that POTUS made, and he said that these Mexicans are rapists and murderers, and that's why we got to build a wall 9 miles high. And a lot of good boys, they applauded him. But I want to ask you, when you have these women coming out and they're claiming sexual assault, what's the ethnicity of these men? Okay, do they look like the people that Donald Trump wants to build a wall to keep outside of the country?
Well, Charlton, all these white men that have been proclaimed as rapists and alleged rapists, even this guy Roy Moore down in Alabama that they were backing, who's this Republican running for the Senate.
Yeah, he's a joke.
Here's a guy that was molesting a 14-year-old girl, a 17-year-old girl,
wow,
and an 18-year-old girl when he was in his mid-30s.
Wow.
And they're saying, he's talking about, I don't recall all of it.
He recalls.
That's what he said. He said, I knew their parents, and their parents were good people. So if you knew their parents, you knew the girl.
Exactly.
And you knew these. And then he made the statement, one of the girls, I think she was 18.
Wow.
The 17-year-olds, he said, I think she was 18. The drinking age in Alabama was still 19. He was still serving a minor, Charles.
Yeah, and he's a Surgeon General's friend, too.
He's justifying it.
Yeah.
But, we haven't heard the president say anything about the rapists lately.
No.
Because they're coming out of the droves, and ironically, they've all been white men, white middle-aged men.
Yeah, you can Google that.
That are financially well off.
Yeah.
And he said all the murderers. And I'm kind of thinking, Charlton.
Yeah.
There was a guy in Las Vegas that shot 800 people. I think he might have been from America and white. Okay.
So you're saying the wall would not have stopped him from getting into the hotel down in Las Vegas and assault and slaughtering people? Is that what you're saying?
All he did was look over a wall, Charlton, in a concert. That's all he did. So that wall didn't stop him. Did not stop him at all, Charlton. I'm thinking about a guy just a couple days ago down in Texas.
Yeah.
Okay? White guy. Goes out and murders a church full of people, Charlton.
Wow.
And I haven't heard the president talk about any of these rapists are murderers over the past month, Charlton. Not one of them.
Not one.
Saying that we need to protect American society against these people.
That's true.
So where's his base? Why doesn't he talk to his base?
Yeah.
Because the guys that have committed these crimes, Charlton, all look like his base.
And the reason we bring this up so much is because we all know how the Western world developed. When Columbus discovered the Western world, there were already people here, okay, all over the United States and the South America. So we understand how a lot of that issues that happen to do with the race right now, it didn't just start yesterday. There's been a lineage of that. So I want to just say for all people all over the world, everybody can commit crime. Everybody knows right from wrong. We can do right and wrong no matter who we are. It's just a shame that our country used to say that we should be the shining light on a hill. And right now that light has been turned off because our POTUS is the same one that he tacitly consists of what's happened to a lot of these women who are coming out. And I'm so proud that they're bold enough to say that. Big C, I do want to touch on a few more things sports-wise. Saturday night up in Northern California, Thunder Valley Casino. They have the Gladiator Challenge and some of the best fighters in Northern California. And what a great event it was, and Big C Sports was following that. So congratulations to all the fighters that won their fight. But some shocking things happened in the world of college football. And I don't want to say it's up. I'm going to contribute this to the moonshine you've been sipping on, you and Nick Saban. Well, Nick Saban told us about a couple weeks ago, forget about the rankings. The rankings don't count. I think he's been a prophet, but you also said, Big C, that a couple of good old boys would fall out of the top four. And this past week, what do you and Nick Saban know that a lot of them boys at the mothership don't know, Big C? Your thoughts?
Well, Charlton, first and foremost, Nick is not a fan and I'm not a fan, okay?
Yeah.
We are realists.
Yeah.
We understand what's out there. We see the talent that's on the field and what's hype and what's not hype. One of the things about mainstream media, Charlton, when they're talking about these games, these guys talk about it with a fanfare.
Yeah.
You don't have many guys who are analysts of the games that really understand them.
Yeah.
They sit there and they go with the flow as far as popularity is what they're looking at.
Yeah.
This is not about popularity. This is about understanding what athletes do, what coaches do in certain scenarios, Charlton.
Yep.
And knowing, we had talked about Auburn and this quarterback, Jared Stidham.
Oh, he's good.
Who was a transfer from the University of Baylor. And we had said that he would make the difference because of his arm in the game.
Yeah.
He changes the dynamics of the SEC. No quarterback since Johnny Manziel's freshman year has changed the dynamic of the SEC like this.
Yeah.
And this is one of those scenarios where he's mobile and he has a tremendous arm.
Yeah.
He's surrounded by a bunch of great athletes. And Charlton, realistically, when you're looking at the draft, he's one of the top 3 quarterbacks available coming out in the NFL draft if he decides to come out, even though they'll talk about Donald Rosen and that kid out of Wyoming that nobody knows.
Nobody knows. He don't even know who he is,
but this kid, you think about it, he's done it in the Big 12.
Yeah.
Now he's doing it in the SEC.
Yeah.
And he handled Georgia. Georgia was a team that was averaging almost 300 yards a game rushing.
Yeah.
They got 79 against the University of Auburn.
Yeah.
79 yards. And looked very pedestrian in that game as Auburn handled them up and down the field.
Yeah.
Then you want to talk about the Charlton.
Yep.
we talked about the old days of swagger.
Yeah.
One I had.
Yeah.
Talked about the Catholics versus the convicts.
Yeah.
Well, I think the convicts ran amok on the Catholics.
That's funny. You hear about that? Well, I tell you, it was like Miami back in the day when they had all the great athletes and the fanfare. They really played a solid game. Also, on the West Coast, that Friday night, and we talked about the Pac-12, if Washington had any chance to represent the Pac-12 at all, if it's because people are getting knocked off, it seems like on a weekly basis, and they fall at home. Actually, they fall on the road at the farm. I think a lot of them good old boys down at Stafford, they were mad because some good old boys had bought all the meat out of California for the Veterans Day, Big C. And so they didn't have any meat to eat, but they took it out on the Huskies. It was close enough, Big C. And they deep fried the Huskies by the score of 30-22. And again, Jake Browning, great quarterback. But there's something about that Stanford football team, and they play Notre Dame coming up soon. And that Stanford football team with a hurt running back in Love under Shaw, he keeps showing why he's one of the best coaches in college football. He just tied the record for the most wins in the history of Stanford football. And he tied Pop Warner. He has 71 wins. Here's a guy that can't get an NFL look, but he's a winningest coach in the history of the Stanford football. Big C, your thoughts?
Well, Charlton, I thought you guys all ate them healthy veggies on the West Coast. You guys were, vegan freaks out there, left all the carnivorness and just southerners down here.
Hey, we eat what we can, Bixie. We eat what we can.
we had talked about that in our Friday program about teams that would be eliminated. We didn't think that the Pack would be represented, Charlton, because they were so far down in the polls, and they would have, whoever was there would have to run the table in a dominant fashion, 25, 30 points a game, 60. That all was eliminated. So the Pack is out of the 14 playoffs. This has become more and more politicized. And here it is, Stanford. This is a team that had an up and down season. We talked about the greatness of David Shaw over his tenure there at Stanford University. He's won more games than Bill Walsh, Jim Harbaugh, Tyrone Willingham, Dennis Green. He's won more games than all those coaches, Charlton. Even though he hasn't gotten the luster that they have as far as recognition. But, you look at the players that he turned out, Charlton. For a player to play at Stanford, and most universities and fans don't recognize this around the country, you have to be accepted into Stanford academically before you can accept a scholarship. It's not like that around the country where you just give a kid a scholarship whether he has the grades or not.
What's grades have to do with it?
You have to qualify academically. That's what David Shaw works with. He works with a lot of brainiacs that are tremendous athletes. And so no other university around the country can say that about a top-flight program is that, hey, we got to get our athletes approved by the administration first and the student council before I can give them a scholarship. Everybody else just walks on campus.
That's a very good point. Ohio State got back on the winning side of things, 48-3 over Michigan State. And in another shootout game, Oklahoma State 49-42 over Iowa State. They look very good offensively. Defensively, they're suspect. LSU 33-10 over Arkansas. I do want to touch on a player from the University of Nevada that set an NCAA record with 3 return touchdowns on returns. And his name is Damian Barber. Nevada beats San Jose State 59-14, but 3 return touchdowns for touchdowns. That's an NCAA record if Nevada got the win there. And then also, we talked about Auburn with a 40-17 win over Georgia. It was Wisconsin, another team that you like, Big C, 38-14 over Iowa. Your thoughts?
Charlton, Wisconsin played a totally dominant game. You got to really take your hat off to Paul Chryst and his gang up there in Madison. This is a coach and a team that's going under the radar. They're 9-0, undefeated. But everybody said, well, we don't have any quality wins. I think they might have 9 quality wins, before you really look at it, Charlton. They don't have any quality losses.
That's true.
9 quality wins.
Quality loss.
That's always a qualifier when you're looking at the playoff system. You think about it. This is an Iowa team that they played this past weekend that hung over 50 points.
On Ohio State.
Ohio State. Okay? Ohio State is still reeling from that loss.
That's a good point.
But in the first half of this game, Charlton, Wisconsin's defense held Iowa's offense to a mere 14 yards. 14. You think about it, you get that on one run or pass in a college game. They could only muster 14 yards of offense, total offense in the first half. And if not for 2 pick sixes by Iowa's defense, they would have been shut out. That's the only offense they had. But Charlton, at the end of that contest, Wisconsin's vaunted defense held Iowa to a total of 76 yards offensively.
Wow.
Now, you're going to tell me that they don't have any quality wins? Ohio State beats the break off of Iowa beats the brakes off of Ohio State. And they come back and Iowa can't get 100 yards against Wisconsin. And they don't have quality wins.
That's true. That's a very good point, Big C. Clemson, the good old boys down south, last year's national champions, Dabo Swinney, 31-14 over Florida State. Was a big game before the season began. Now Florida State's really struggling. Your thoughts on how Clemson looks? Now they're back up to number 2 or number 3 in the polls, depending on who you look at, Big C. Your thoughts on Clemson? Do they have what it takes to repeat as national champions?
Clemson is not consistent, even though they're ranked high, Charlton, and a lot of that goes from where they've been the last 2 seasons, being in the national championship game. And so they deserve a high ranking because of their lineage that they've developed, just like Alabama. But, they haven't shown me the consistency that I expect from Kelly Bryant, even though this is his first year as a starter, and he's had a lot of injuries. That defense is tremendous. You think about Florida State, this is a team after they lost Francois, they just gave up. You would think that you would have other players on the team that would pick up the slack when you lose a quarterback.
Yeah.
Just like Ohio State did 3 years ago.
Yep.
When Jones won the national championship when Barrett went down.
Yeah.
You know, he picked up the slack and the rest of the players did also.
Yeah.
But this is a situation, you think about the talent at Florida State. Jimbo Fisher, you wonder if he's looking for another job and got his house on the market or something because his players are just not responding.
Yeah, they've always played very well, even though they had injuries every now and then. Never saw that program win on about 4 games a year. They're at 3-6 right now. And Southern California, a 38-24 victory at Colorado. And so they'll clinch the Pac-12 South. And then Washington State, a 33-25 win over Utah. Alabama, I tell you, 31-24. This is a team that's accustomed to blowing teams out. But also, you need to win a close game every now and then, and they did that, winning within the final minute of that ball game at Mississippi State. Your thoughts on the Tide being tested, Big C?
Well, Charlton, you got to show your mettle periodically, and this is one of those games that the Tide show that, you know, we have what it takes to win a tight game.
Yeah.
And it's always nice, you know, for Vegas to say we got a blowout, we got a 24-point spread, a 33-point spread.
Yeah.
Well, this is a game, just like Nick Saban said, don't worry about what the press says.
Yeah.
And this is what it is. The press is saying, well, they weren't impressive. You know,
Yeah.
and I'm lost. Like I said, my kids always tell me, Dad, you're not a very smart, okay?
Yeah, after the allowance.
So I don't understand all the time, if you're undefeated and you win, Charlton,
Yeah.
that it's not impressive.
Yeah.
You know, to be on a team that goes whatever and 0,
Yeah.
okay?
Yep.
That's pretty damn impressive.
That's
Even
impressive.
in Pop Warner.
Yeah.
You know, high school.
Yeah.
If you have no losses at the end of the season,
Yeah.
that's kind of impressive because the schedule that you play are the teams that are on your schedule when the season started. It wasn't like, okay, let's go pull in a cupcake.
Yep. That's
Okay?
true. That's very
you
true.
have to get up for that team every week and think about it. When you're undefeated, you're everybody's bowl game every week, Charles.
That's a very good point. Northwestern 23-13 over Purdue. And, of course, we talked about Miami 41-8 over Notre Dame. No one saw that coming. Arizona State falls to UCLA by the score of 44-37. It was Arizona over Oregon State 49-28. And then Georgia Tech a 28-22 win over Never 17. Virginia Tech last college football game. We talk about the Big 12 former Southwest Conference. It was Oklahoma 38-20 over number 9 ranked TCU. Your thoughts on that game? I thought TCU's defense would play a little bit better than they played against Oklahoma. Big C, your thoughts?
That was a shocker to me, Charlton, that they didn't put up a better performance against Oklahoma. You thought Oklahoma might be a little road weary after hanging so many points on Oklahoma State, but they seem to have some momentum right now, Charlton. You know, they have that one hiccup loss on their schedule against Iowa State.
Yep.
But, you know, here it is, you know, Charlton, they rebounded offensively.
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield is playing as well as any quarterback in the country right now. The defense, I was shocked that they were able to hold TCU to just 20 after giving up 54 the previous week.
Yeah.
But this is a team that, you know, people have their sights on making it to the playoffs.
Yeah.
But they still have a couple of tough games to go, Charlton. They still have to play in the Big 12 championship.
Yep.
That's not over with yet. You think about it. We're still going to have 2 more shuffles in this playoff scenario.
Yeah.
Before it's all over. It's not set yet. We got 4 teams that they'll name tomorrow, which most likely will be Alabama, Clemson, Oklahoma, and let's see who. It's going to be a toss-up. You think about that number 4 position. You got Miami.
Yep.
You have Wisconsin.
Yeah.
And so, you know, where are you going to go with number 4?
Yeah.
You know, that's the toss-up with me. And all of a sudden, now you got to toss up 2 teams, a team with 2 losses in there, Auburn.
Yeah.
So those 3 teams are fighting for number 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah.
In the bracketing, Charlton, come tomorrow night.
Yep.
The top 3 are easy to name: Alabama, Oklahoma, Clemson. Okay.
Yeah. And
then the next 3 are going to be Miami, Wisconsin, and Auburn.
Yeah. I tell you, it all depends on who does it on the field. What we talk about is a lot of just to get the attention. But Nick Saban was right. Who cares about the rankings? I'm sure he won't say that the last week of the rankings, but he did say it when it happened. I do want to say that sports is a billion-dollar industry, and boys and girls sports is the foundation to this billion-dollar industry. For every sporting event, you need athletic and event insurance. We work with Ben and Mark. They've been around half a century. They work with Big C Sports. Whether you're a pro team, a collegiate team, a high school team, or your mom and pop soccer teams, when you reach out to them, let them know that Big C sent you. Big C, quickly as he run down the NFL, what happened in Week 10 capsules. The Packers at home, I mean, they were at the Bears. At home, we know they're very dominant, even though they have Rodgers out. But they beat the Bears by the score of 23-16. And your thoughts on the Packers? I still don't think they're going to make the playoffs by any means, but they actually had a good showing against the Bears, Big C. Your thoughts?
Well, Colin, it was the Bears that they played against.
Yeah.
And John Fox was on his way out the door.
Yeah.
You know, there were some questionable calls in this game, Charlton.
Yeah.
And we talked about replay last week and how disgusting that replay is.
Yeah.
Anybody can decipher something in a microsecond, okay, Charlton?
Yep.
We sit there and go frame by frame, baseball, basketball, football, tiddlywinks, okay?
Yeah.
We can see that somebody made an odd move. You know, replay at this point needs to be removed from the NFL.
Yeah.
This is a real-time clashing game, okay?
Yeah.
That grown, huge, hulking, fast men play. But you can sit down and freeze this millisecond after millisecond and make a decision whether the ball moved, whether the touchdown was scored, or whether the knee was down.
Yeah.
It takes too much away from the game, Charles.
It does.
It does. And we saw that in the Bears game, where a player's extending the ball, you know, touches the pylon, but fumbles the ball as he's touching the pylon.
Yeah.
So it's a turnover, and it cost the Bears a chance to tie and potentially win this game.
Yeah.
And it cost the coach his job also. Fox is gone after that debacle.
Yeah, they need
so he called the timeout, challenged it, lost the challenge, so he lost his job in the thing, Chelsea.
Yeah.
But Hundley still has not impressed me at quarterback for the Packers. They beat the Bears, but the quality opponents that he had played prior to that, they were very mediocre.
Yeah, that's a good point, Big C. The Browns, they go to 0-9. And that's all quality losses, though, Big C. I just said they're all quality losses. They're 0-9. The Lions go to 5-4 with a 38-24 win. Big C, your thoughts in about 2 minutes? What happened with the Lions and the Browns? In fact, the Browns had a lead for a short time there, Big C. Your thoughts?
Charlton, it was the Browns' best game of the year. You know, they showed some improvement. But that improvement is not going to be enough to keep Hugh Jackson around. It's going to bring another coach in that's going to replicate what Hugh and all the previous coaches that Hugh had done. Lost, okay? The Browns organization, for some reason, just cannot sustain what they're doing.
Yeah.
They played well against the Lions early on, but everyone does, Charlton.
Yeah.
It's a matter of whether you can sustain it in the second half. And Matthew Stafford had to come from behind. Once again, that'll go on his record that he had to come from behind victory to beat the Browns.
Yeah, that game.
But the Browns did show some heart, Justin. They're just not giving up.
Yeah.
They're showing some heart. All they're doing right now is playing for that number 1 overall draft pick again.
And that's a good point. That game was Sunday on CBS Sports. Spiro did his. Adam Archuleta had the play-by-play. The Steelers look very good, even though they had a closer win than they like against the Colts. The Steelers go to 7-2 on the season. The Colts go to 3-7, but they're all, as you call, what kind of loss do you call it, BC? Good losses? Quality loss. I like that. It's a quality loss, Big Z. 2017, the Steelers with the win at the Colts. Big Z, your thoughts?
Well, Charlton, I think Jacoby Brissett is a much better quarterback than a lot of people have given him credit for. They keep talking about Andrew Luck.
Yeah.
Andrew Luck is out of the country. He's over in Europe right now.
Yeah.
That's how involved he is with the Colts organization. He's over in Europe looking at, medical, situations over there that might help him improve.
Yeah.
But, you think about the leadership that Jacoby Brissett has distributed, with this club that he has shown that he's a quality NFL quarterback. That he played Ben Roethlisberger close to the best.
Yeah.
The Steelers have one of the better defenses in the NFL. If you look at their record, they're 7-2 now.
Yep.
Okay? They're a quality team.
Yeah.
Mike Tomlin does an excellent job as a coach. He'll never get the credit through the mainstream media. They don't think of him as a good coach.
No, but
they think of white coaches who lose that are better coaches than him. Okay?
Well, I'll tell you this: the Steelers are 7-2. They have 7 quality wins and 2 quality losses, so Tomlin will keep his job. I do want to get on that game with Sunday on CBS Sports. The great Greg Gumbel, Trent Green, and Jimmy Earl have the play-by-play. The Chargers, they fumbled and bumbled their way to a loss. They're 3-6 on the season. They were at the Jaguars, who would go to 6-3. The Jaguars get it done 2017. That was Sunday on CBS Sports. Andrew Catalan and James Lofton have the play-by-play. Big C, your thoughts on the Jaguars are a pretty good football team.
They are an excellent team, Charlton. The problem I have is that the coach in San Diego gets being blamed for Phillip Rivers throwing interceptions and the players fumbling the ball.
Oh, I thought the coach threw that interception. That was Phillip that threw it, Big C. Is that breaking news? I thought the coach came off the bench and threw it.
Ironically, he's an African-American coach, Charlton.
Oh, okay.
It's amazing how much blame he's getting for, you got a quarterback that's been around for 13 years and he's starting to look more and more like Eli Manning.
Yeah.
That he was traded for. Okay?
Yeah.
It's starting to look a lot like each other.
Okay.
And then you get running backs dropping the ball, Charlton, and why, And so the coach, they said, well, maybe he wasn't ready for this job. So maybe he kept the wrong players on the roster.
So you said
director, player personnel, the GM. Maybe they kept the wrong players because they were veterans. They kept the veterans and let the young players go. They were hungry.
Yeah.
And that's what happens with teams like that, Charlton. They keep veterans too long.
Yeah.
And we're seeing a lot of it. Jacksonville, Blake Bortles still is not the answer down there, Charlton. They got an excellent defense that won this game.
Yeah.
But Blake Bortles kept trying to get a game to the Chargers. Okay,
yeah.
So if you don't throw an interception, I'll throw one too.
That's so funny.
That's the amazing part. You got quarterbacks who can't play.
Yeah.
And they're blaming it on the coaches.
That's something else. Yeah, look at the Saints. Drew Brees, I don't know what he's drinking or what he's taking. I know he's down south, so I got a hint it might have some moonshine stuff in his system. But they go to 7-2 on the season, a team that did not make the playoffs last year. The Bills fall to 5-4 on the season, and I want to get your thoughts. 47-10. It's hard to lose 47-10, especially you're at home, and the quarterback's over 35. Big C, your thoughts on the Saints go marching into New York to Buffalo?
Well, Charlton, the thing you got to look about with the Saints is that Adrian Peterson went to the Saints. Why? He thought that they would run the football.
Yeah.
And they got rid of him, and they started running the football.
Yeah.
They rushed for 5 touchdowns in that game yesterday, Charlton.
Wow.
5 touchdowns the Saints rushed for.
Yeah.
Between Kamara and Ingram. Ingram had 3.
Yeah.
This is a team that has a veteran quarterback that can throw the ball.
Yeah.
But as he's gotten older, Charlton, in his career, he's recognized that he needs a run game.
Yeah.
To save that arm for when he really needs it.
Yeah.
And people say that the Saints couldn't win on the road. They've gone on the road a couple of times this year and won games on the road outside the dome. So they don't need the friendly confines because that defense that they have, Charlton, is just an outstanding defense. You look at their defense, you look at the Jacksonville Jaguars defense, Charlton, they are quite similar the way that they're playing right now. But Drew Brees is not having to win games with his arm. He's deferring to his running back, who rushed for over 250 yards in this last game.
Yeah, that was a great win by the Saints. That was Sunday on Fox Sports. The great Kenny Albert, Rondé Barber, and Christina Pink have the play-by-play. I look at the Jets, the Jets, Jets, and they fall at Tampa. I thought that would be a game that would win. And Tampa gets the win 15-10 over the Jets. That game was Sunday on CBS Sports. Kevin Harlan, Rich Gannon, and Otis Livingston had the play-by-play. Big C, just give me your thoughts on Tampa. They're not going anywhere this year, but I thought the Jets would have won that game. Your thoughts?
Well, Charlton, this is a game that Fitzpatrick threw a couple of passes to the Jets because he thought he was in a scrimmage last year. He fell from last season. And he got that also from McCown on the other side. This was a game, Charlton, that neither quarterback played well.
Yeah.
But, Tampa found a way with a better defense to pull this out.
Yeah.
This is a game that was shocking that the Jets lost after the dismal performance that the Buccaneers had the week before in New Orleans.
Yeah.
That all of a sudden they came up, and I think the Jets might have been looking at that, Charlton, looking beyond this game to say, hey, they just gave it up against the Saints, and after the fine of Evans and being suspended, they're not going to want to play, but for some reason they got motivated, Charlton. And came out and played an NFL football game.
Well, obviously they had a really good showing. I want to say the Minnesota Vikings look as good as anyone. They go to 7-2 on the season with a beatdown of the Redskins. And I say it's a beatdown because they did it against a team that just was on a high horses after beating the Seattle Seahawks on the road. The Redskins fall to 4-5. The Vikings go to 7-2. Remember the Super Bowls in Minneapolis this year. A 38-30 win. That was Sunday on Fox Sports. Kevin Burkhardt, Charles Davis, and Pam Oliver had the play-by-play. Big C, are these Vikings as good as those Vikings that went to the Super Bowl 4 times under the great Bud Grant? Big C, your thoughts?
Well, Charlton, I don't know if they're as good as the team that Denny Green had that went 15-1.
Yeah.
But they had such an emotional uplift. Teddy Bridgewater was on the sideline, for the first time in a year and a half after destroying his knee last year. Teddy Bridgewater gave this team an emotional lift. This team went out, Charlton, and just dominated the Redskins. Everybody was on Kirk Cousins' bandwagon, your cousin.
Yeah. He's not my cousin.
After that shocking win that they had.
Yeah.
And they said, Kirk Cousins has steadied the ship in Washington.
Yeah.
Evidently they sprung a leak somewhere coming down the Potomac because they stuck fast in that stadium, the other day, talking.
Yeah.
But what's an ironic thing that's going on right now, Charlton? When you look at the two top records in the NFC,
yeah,
they're 7-2.
Yep.
Well, the second two best records are 7-2.
Yeah.
And both of those quarterbacks were on the same team last year.
Yeah.
Case Keenum started the season for the Rams. Jared Goff is playing lights out now.
That's a very good point. Big C, the Bengals, they're 3-6 on the season, and they fall at the Titans, who go to 6-3, 24-20. That was Sunday on Fox Sports. The great Dick Stockton, Mark Sklareth, and Shannon Spake had the play-by-play. And Mariota is playing the same way we thought he would play. Big C, your thoughts on the Titans getting the big win at home?
Well, Mariota's, constantly developing Charlton into a quality quarterback.
Yeah.
He's getting better. He's being patient. He's not impatient that we've seen with a lot of quarterbacks. When you think about it, he and Jameis Winston's growth. Jameis Winston stopped growing.
Yeah.
Mariota is still growing, Charlton.
Yeah.
And this team is rallied around him. He has a tremendous running back that he relies on, Charlton. He doesn't try to do it all.
Yep.
He knows that he has some guys that will take the pressure off him. So when it does come time for him to throw, he can do that. And what really surprises me is Delaney Walker,
yeah,
who's still playing at that all-pro level. And Delaney Walker was along with Davis. They were the tight ends for the 49ers when they went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But Delaney Walker has not lost a step when he went to Tennessee.
Yep.
He helped stabilize that receiving core and help Marcus Mariota develop.
I tell you, and he's developing very well, Big C. The Texans, 3-6 on the season. The Rams now 7-2. A 33-7 blowout at the Coliseum. The Rams are legit. I understand they have a guy that runs the ball by the name of Gurley, but Goff also had about a 98-yard touchdown pass. Let's be honest, he threw it about 30 yards, and the receiver ran the rest, but that was Sunday, a 4-5 start on CBS Sports. Iron Eagle, Dan Fouts, and Evan Washburn had the play-by-play. The Rams, I'm telling you, Big C, this is a football team that will most likely win the NFC West. They were about a drop catch from beating Seattle last time. Your thoughts on the Rams and how good they look coming back to Los Angeles?
Well, Charlton, this is a team that's won 4 consecutive games, and LA loves a winner.
Yeah.
And now they do have a winner with the Rams. This is a team that scored over 30 points in their last 4 games in their victories, Charlton.
Yeah.
And this defense is playing lights out. They are a tremendous defensive team.
Yep.
I mean, the offense right now is scoring and getting a lot of accolades.
Yeah.
I mean, the receiving core that they have developed around Goff. And you think about it, 2 of them came from Buffalo. And Buffalo had no receivers a couple of weeks ago. They had to make a trade for Calvin Benson.
Yeah.
From Carolina.
Yeah.
But when you look at the team and what they've done as far as helping out Goff.
Yeah.
Letting this offense let the players be what they are. You got Todd Gurley, a tremendous running back. You upgraded your offensive line. You upgraded your receiving corps.
Yeah.
And you wonder why they kept paying Jeff Fisher.
Yeah.
It was an easy fix. Get rid of Fisher, hire some players.
That's funny, Big C. And speaking of getting rid of people, Jerry Jones has decided he wants to sue the NFL and taking the focus off of playing the Atlanta Falcons. Maybe he thought we were in the offseason, but when the owner is distracting his own players, you're playing a big game, a game you got to win. Of course, he and his issues with Arthur Blank. The Cowboys are now 5-4 in the season. The Atlanta goes to 5-4 with a 27-7 beatdown of the Dallas Cowboys, America's team. I think Jerry Jones has to say at least he's part of the blame. He had a lot of distraction calls for his team. That was a Sunday game, 4:25 kickoff on Fox Sports. Joe Buck, Troy Aikman, and Aaron Andrews had the play-by-play. Big C, is there trouble brewing in Dallas, Texas, with the owner trying to sue everybody, and then they also don't have Elliott, and they also have some injured players too? Your thoughts?
Well, Charlton, let me tell you why Jerry Jones is going after Arthur Blank.
Yeah.
Okay, this is like guys being in the bathroom at the urinal, okay? This is a swinging contest, all right?
Yeah.
That's what Jerry Jones is ticked off about.
Yeah.
But for years, he's had the most palatial palace in the NFL, okay?
Yeah.
All of a sudden, the Falcons open up this Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Yeah.
The new most palatial palace in the NFL. Jerry Jones is hurt behind that.
Wow.
All of a sudden, somebody's got a better house than him.
Yeah.
And it's not like he can go build a new one because that one kept him in the house for a minute.
Was that called keeping up with the Joneses, Big C? Is that what Jerry Jones is trying to do, keep up with the Joneses?
He's trying to keep up with the blank.
Okay.
He's going to write a blank check to be this.
That's funny.
That's why he's so mad with Arthur, because Arthur now has a better house than him.
Yeah.
And Jerry's always wanted the best house on the block.
Yeah.
But he got a cease and desist letter today from the rest of the owners about leaving the commissioner alone.
Wow.
You know, the contract that they have on the table, which is enormous, and I was mind blown when I saw it, Charles. $50 million a year for the commissioner.
How much?
$50 million. $50 million.
Is there an application for that position, Big C? Can you get me the hookup?
There's a whole lot of guys that said, I'll take half. Okay?
I'll take half, Eddie.
$50 million a year. Not only that, Charlton, the lifetime use of a private jet.
Wow.
Okay?
Wow.
Lifetime health insurance for his family.
Wow.
Now, I'm kind of thinking, John, you know, like I said, I keep saying it, and I'm starting to believe it. I'm not a very smart man.
Yeah.
But I think if I'm making $50 million,
yeah,
then I can afford my own health insurance for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
So he's making a paltry, $34 million a year right
yeah,
now?
something like that.
Okay, $34 to $40 million. And so he can't buy his health insurance.
Wow.
And he can't rent his own private plane. So, I mean, Austin needs to find a better financial man. You know, Roger got to go out there. I need somebody to handle my funds for me because I'm squandering off like an NFL rookie.
Wow, that is a lot of stuff to squander off. Speaking of squandering, the Giants fall to 1-8 on the season at San Francisco, which goes to 1-9 on the season with a 31-21 win at San Francisco. Actually, now the Santa Clara Levi Stadium. That game was Sunday on Fox Sports. Chris Myers, Dale Johnson, and Laura Oakman had the play-by-play. Your thoughts on the 49ers getting their first win since they had Colin Kaepernick at quarterback? I think that's going to save the head coach's job, Big C. He got one win on the season. Your thoughts?
Well, who was holding the clipboard for the 49ers?
I'm not sure, Big C.
Jimmy Garoppolo. The kid that they just made this big hoopla about trading for.
Yeah.
Maybe they've seen something in training camp that he can't figure it out. Just
Yeah.
like Bill Belichick said, he ain't getting no better.
There's a
I
reason.
I can let him go.
Yeah.
But, you know, I think, what's the name of the Giants coach name? McAdoo?
Oh, McAdoo, yeah.
Okay. The theme of this game, what can do for you?
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
He can put his house on the block.
Oh, man.
This has become a very inept team, the New York Giants. I think that the story was more about the Giants than it was about the 49ers.
Yeah.
Even though they got their first victory. This is a franchise that all you did was replace the head coach when you got rid of Tom Coughlin.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And I want to see all those media scoundrels that rolled Odell Beckham for going down to Miami last year, okay, before the Green Bay Packers playoff game.
Yeah.
Where are all those guys? Because that same quarterback is on the field for the Giants, all right? He's on the field.
Yeah.
Where are all those media proponents that said Odell Beckham was milking it when he didn't start the first game of the season, when he didn't want to play because he had the bad ankle?
Yeah.
Where are all those media proponents that said, well, Odell Beckham is letting down his team? Okay, Odell Beckham didn't let it down his team because he didn't throw the interceptions last year against Green Bay in the playoffs.
Yep.
Odell Beckham is not taking the snap for a team that's now 1-8, Charlton.
Yeah.
Getting sacked and throwing interceptions and fumbling the ball.
Yeah.
That's not Odell Beckham. It's amazing how you ride that one minority receiver who's only one aspect of the offense. He can only catch the ball.
Yeah.
But that guy who's supposed to be distributing the ball and is a field general and very intelligent and knowledgeable, and this team is 1-8, Charlton.
Yeah, 1-8.
And he's not getting any better.
Yeah, but Big C, it was there are quality 8 losses too. Like you said, all those losses, they're all quality losses, Big C.
That's right. You can't blame it on the quarterback.
Yeah, that's
you
funny.
You got to blame it on the offensive line.
Yeah.
You got to blame it on the running backs. You got to blame it on the receivers that are hurt.
Yeah.
Because him making $22 million, he shouldn't have to make the players around him better.
That's
they
a
should
good
make
point.
him better.
Yeah, and speaking of better, Tom Brady, even though he has a losing record at Denver, the Patriots go to 7-2 on the season. Denver falls to 3-6 inexplicably, and that was a 41-16 beatdown on Sunday at 8:30 kickoff. NBC Sports, the great Al Michaels, Chris Collinsworth, and Michelle Tafoya had the play-by-play. Your thoughts on what's the solution for the Broncos, Big C? Your thoughts?
What's the solution for the Broncos, Charlton?
Yeah.
John Elway has to stop drinking. Whatever he's drinking, he's got to stop
But it's Mile High, Big C. It's Mile High.
It's not cool as light, evidently. Okay?
It may be something.
John Elway needs to figure out, regardless of who he plays at quarterback, he needs to find an offensive line, okay?
Yeah.
That's the number one thing wrong with the Denver Broncos.
Yeah.
Is that John Elway felt that he did not have to invest in an offensive line, that he had a defense that was one of the top 3 defenses in the league, and they could always hold an opposing team at bay.
Yeah.
But he didn't realize that without offensive line that you're going to get Simeon hurt, as
Yeah.
he did last year and this year.
Yeah.
Then you got the other kid hurt, Lynch.
Yeah.
Then you bring in Osweiler, who is immobile and can't find his way to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
He's inept.
Yeah.
So all of these quarterbacks, as good or as bad as they may be,
Yeah.
they have no offensive line, and John Elway will not invest in one. I don't know what he's waiting on. I don't know if he's waiting on the next big free agent quarterback to come available.
Yeah.
He could have had Colin Kaepernick.
Yep.
He wanted to play that racist card of most NFL owners. And
Yep.
I'm not going to hire the guy, even though I don't have an offensive line, and he's the best suited to run what we have here.
Yeah.
I don't want to pay him. I don't want to buck the system. I'd rather lose. But that's the problem with the Broncos, Charlton.
Well, you know.
And I want to congratulate Bill Belichick last night, Charlton. He also tied Tom Landry for 3rd place in all-time winning as an NFL head coach. He had his 270th victory.
Yeah.
He tied the guy who wore the fedora, Charlton, in Dallas' sideline for years.
Yeah.
So now we have the hoodie and the fedora tied for 3rd place in all-time NFL victories as a head coach.
That's a very good.
Behind Don Shula and George Howard.
That's a very good point, Big C. I also want to add one more thought. When you took a look at that number 1 ranked defense that the Broncos have carried around for the past couple of years, and they look at Elway not willing to go out and get the best player available, which is Colin Kaepernick, okay? Colin Kaepernick would be a great fit for that offense. They tried to get him before out of San Francisco, but they decided to be like all the other NFL owners who are going to be part of that bigotry that goes on in the United States. And so you guys and I'm not going to name any names, but you can look at who the top players are in their defense, okay? When they realize that ownership will not go out and get the best player available to help your team win, why in the world are they going to give you a maximum effort? If you don't put your whole thoughts behind them, but you're asking them to go out and put their whole bodies on the line, why would they work hard for you, Big C? That's just a lot of the rumors that I hear going on in Denver. Last game on tonight, we have Monday Night Football. The Dolphins 4-4 at the Panthers 6-3. Cam Newton against who's that guy that's always taking a nap? Cutler, Big C for the sleepy Cutler. And that's a Monday night game. The 5:30 kickoff is already kicked off. ESPN, Sean McDonough, John Gruden, Lisa Salters with the play-by-play. Your thoughts on that, Big C, in the last 2 minutes?
Well, Charlton, when we saw what Carolina did last week against, Atlanta,
Yeah.
this is a team that's been up and down and inconsistent, but they have showed promise. This is a team that has generally played to the occasion, not risen above the occasion.
Yeah.
And Cam Newton last week became himself. He went back to running the football, which made Cam Newton one of the better quarterbacks in his division.
Yeah.
And that's what he has to do. The Dolphins have a big defensive line that cannot keep up with him.
Yeah.
And so he's going to have to get out, put some pressure on the edge, allow Chris McCaffrey to get a little more incorporated in the offense.
Yeah.
And they'll have a chance to beat the Dolphins. Jay Cutler most likely will sleep through the first half.
Big C, back in the day, there's a man by the name of Drew Bondini Brown. He was Muhammad Ali's right-hand man. He would always tell Ali, with all you got to use, how can you lose? Rumble, young man, rumble. Big C, what are you looking forward to in the sports universe?
Well, Charlton, what I'm looking forward to is what we had some announcements today. We had Aaron Judge, unanimous choice, American League Rookie of the Year. We had Corey Bellinger, Los Angeles Dodgers, unanimous choice, National League Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
Also, Charlton, the Golden State Warriors have won 7 straight in a row. Is anybody looking to see what the NBA is all excited about?
That's a very good point, Big C. You can find out what they're excited about every Monday through Friday at 5 and 6 p.m. worldwide when you follow Big C Sports on the Big C Sports Network, the #1 network in the United States of America. And Big C Sports has been voted the #1 sports show in the universe, according to Big C and them good old boys down south. As we always tell you, there's never, ever any reason for domestic violence. No reason for sexual assault. If you know any woman going through that garbage, please call 911, because no woman should have to go through that garbage all on her own. And as we tell you on every Big C Sports show, we thank you, we appreciate you, and we hope that you have a super fantastic day.